guys, it has been a while, but this is General Blue and King Cold back at it once again.
Yeah, right. Ever. I've been so busy.
Hey, real life gets in the way. I've been kind of busy too, but like I mentioned before, I'm trying to force myself to do nonsense here and there with just different games I can find.
Yes. Yeah, right. Like I've been playing. Oh, good. You joined. So good. I watched the MBT video where you were talking about like I don't know if it was like a masteral problem or like a skill problem, but
It's a little of both
right.
from what I got from it.
Yeah. Well, at first I thought it was like game dying. It was like, no, wait a minute. It's people not converting paper. Like convert. Like, they only play masteral. I'm gonna be real. I play like way more masteral than I do like.
Well, for me, there's no real like Yu-Gi-Oh locals around, so even if I had enough physical cards, I'm pretty much stuck to Master Duel anyway.
Yeah, like for me, there's enough locals around. It's just I just don't have the time to go every day, every week, and sometimes I just don't feel like meeting other people. And right now, I'm in the process of building decks, so it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to build my deck. I don't want to like gamble it on whether or not my deck will even work when it's half built.
Right. That's kind of an issue I have. So, something that's another issue with how the Master Duel events work and how ranked has such a, I guess, like a flowchart of a lot of staple cards. I find myself in kind of an unga bunga mindset where I don't deviate too much from my decks, like the ones that I'm used to that are reasonably rogue. Is a variant of Red Eyes able to work in this event? Is a variant of Danger Dark World able to work? Is a variant of freaking Ice Barrier Stun able to work? If so, I'm just going to mess around with that and try to clown some people. Are they optimal? Absolutely not, but I can usually get decent results. Like the event going on right now, I'm running a Dark World deck that techs in Danger Chupacabra because it's the only Danger Fiend. It's more just kind of an allure target and an easy level 4 for the extra deck. I'm not really using it as much for the danger effect because it's kind of risky.
Yeah, I know how you feel on that. Like for me, I love playing Blue mainly. On top of that, because it's a singles format, I don't have to optimize my deck nearly as much as I would for a match format, right? For best out of three.
Right.
So I can get away with like using Neutron Blast or like something Ultimate Dragon and in for game with that. Versus like, okay, that was game one. Now I have to change my entire like I have to side out or he might side against my strategy. So I have to like predict what he's doing. Oh fuck.
I wanted to make this fitting.
Yeah, I'm actually building the Red Duelist Nexus is it has the Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon, which is like a great card, and he's doing what he calls the Red Eyes Tax deck, where he's like turbos out like 3 flare metals,
Yeah,
and
three
like
flare medals is a pretty good way to run everything. I wish that Red Eyes was a little better in this because this game doesn't have Red Eyes alternate white dragon or Red Eyes alternate black dragon, which is kind of strange. And I think there's another OCG card that I don't know if it's been added yet. It probably won't be added for a little while. We'll have to wait and see. Like you can do things with Red Eyes in this game. It's just definitely not the optimal build of the deck.
I do like that Red Eyes has always been able to do Pseudo Dragon. That's my favorite style, like doing XZ climbing with Dragon Link with Red Eyes because I can play it mostly as pure as possible, but still have like an actual way to play.
Right.
And that's how I'm playing the deck. I actually took this one YouTuber, I think his name is like it's either Dark Dragon 2 or Kira's Wig. One of those YouTubers for deck building where they run Dark Arm Dragon in their deck
Okay.
for Red Eyes, and I'm like, that's actually cool as hell, so I decided to do it.
That's an interesting idea, yeah.
Take your good pass. Wait, do you have if you had 3 in front of Fire Blast, then probably
I'm actually thinking about doing that next time as like a weird gimmick, but no, that's not the variant I'm using. I find that that one, obviously, when it connects, it can be an instant game ender, but it's just not consistently reliable. I think that, and I could be dead wrong, of course, maybe I just haven't experimented enough with the others, but I find that Slash Dragon is probably the most consistent Red Eyes fusion, just because it's got like the protection, it's got the attack buffing, and if you really need it, it's still level 7, so you can just rank 7 spam with it.
I would be all in favor if Red Eyes used had an errata that a card was destroyed. Wait, I don't even know this shit. Cool.
Yeah.
Where okay, you know how there's cards that say you can't summon from us after this activation,
Yes.
or you can't there's certain cards, I guess the way they're worded, where you can still do all your combos, and then you can play that card last and end your turn. I wish Red Eyes Fusion was like that.
I'd agree with that. I'd also say there's the provision where even though you can't summon again, it has to emphasize you can only use one per turn. So if it gets negated, then you're just kind of screwed. That's why it's really only safe to put one in the deck and try to search it with insight, like I did earlier.
Yeah, one thing I dislike about Master Duel that it says that's a full year behind sets right now.
Yeah.
So we got Black Meteor Dragon in the deck, the new card that just came out for the TCG. You could what's it called? Sorry, I'm looking for the word here. Right, you could use that to recycle Red Eye Diffusions. So you could only get away, so you could get away with running one. But for me, I run 2 in the paper version of building my friend. Because lo and behold, even though we're playing casually, I know. That's negate, though. I think. That's also equipped to do it now.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with some of the equips, though, because even though Red Eyes has a decent equip build, the problem with Slash Dragon is if you're just getting kind of trigger happy, then you can actually, you can destroy your own equip spell, and it just does too much. It's a bit of a pain in the behind. It's the kind of thing where you have to. You can't get too trigger happy.
I didn't read that card properly. I thought it did something else.
Now you're good. Fang with Chain.
I'm crashing into you. Fuck you.
Oh, you can crash.
I'm gonna try to activate. See, I was gonna try to bait your jet with I was gonna try to bait your negate with jet to bounce it. Okay. No, what happened?
Okay.
Pass his priority back to what are you doing?
The boy comes in clutch.
Ooh, retro. That's retro.
It's a very weird card. I'm not sure how I feel about Retro Dragon being a thing. Because, it's basically just trying to incorporate Red Eyes into the Time Machine gimmick from the Bandit Keith duel, which is an okay attempt of, trying to modernize that, but I don't know.
But I wish that, Master, there are certain cards that aren't in the game. From what I've heard, if I'm correct, it was copyright reasons. Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon's not in the game because of that, and I don't know if that's 100% true. I think you're the funniest guy on the planet, though.
Maybe. Oh, come on. Everybody uses the dang turtle. Well, I know there's always that controversy with Air Neos, whether or not that's copyright, because even the most recent Speed Duel sets didn't use Air Neos.
Most recent, actually pretty exciting for me for 2 reasons. The new Speed Duel set coming out in August will have the Arcana Art Dark Magician rare.
Okay.
And that happens to be my favorite rarity in the game.
It's a good one.
I really wish Red Eyes had a Blue Eyes Jet Dragon style card that just at least have the effect of reoccurrence stuff, like how you can keep summoning this card to give a Red Eyes, a Blue Eyes on Field of Grave.
I'm not sure what the best thing Red Eyes would need right now would be. I would say probably just an easy way to. I don't want it to just be a flat clone of Blue Eyes because it'll always be inferior just because it's got lower attacks. I think that trying to emphasize the rank 7 spam and Dragon extra deck spam is potentially its best option. Okay, so here's the problem, and I may as well just kind of give it away. So the first card I discarded through an effect was the Gemini one, Black Flare Dragon. Okay, now the problem is it's not treated as a normal monster in the graveyard or in the hand, or no, I'm sorry, it's treated as one in the graveyard. It's not treated as one in the hand or the deck. This is a problem because one of the better rank 7 spam tools is Cosmo Brain, which would normally work really well in Red Eyes because you just pitch a normal monster from your hand, but it doesn't combo with Black Flare Dragon if it's in the hand. So instead, what I do is I tech in a copy of Serpent Night Dragon, which at this point is basically an honorary Red Eyes because not just anime relevance, but also, it's level 7, got basically the same stats as Red Eyes, just a hair below. It's a dark dragon, it works in what it needs to.
Oh fuck, I should have attacked with that. Yeah, well, I'm not saying that Red Eyes has to be a clone of Blue Eyes when it comes to effect, but I do wish that it had the same, like, just able to play its own archetype. I feel like Red Eyes is too Joey Wheeler style luck meme. I'm also keeping like fun, so just like something like my DP and shit.
Well, yeah, of course. I do like that you're actually using Twin Burst. I feel like Twin Burst is very close to being the true Blue Eyes boss monster, even though it's not at all consistent enough nowadays.
It's not that great of a card. However, it's really needed out like Avermax with the like not Avermax. Out a lot of boss monsters that can't be destroyed by metal or whatever, so you just like dance with it.
Exactly. I remember when they had a dual generator on just random smartphones and everything, and I tried building a Blue Eyes deck in that. Now, it took me a while to get any actual decent cards, because those of you that remember Dual Generator, you'll remember how absolutely atrocious the pulls were most times. But I did manage to... The first thing I had was the rank 8 Thunder End Dragon, which it's not Blue Eyes support, even though it has Blue Eyes stats. It's kind of weird like that. And that worked pretty well as an easy field nuke, but I think Twin Burst was a lot more consistent for me in that game. Or what, actually, I might be confusing it with Legacy of the Duelist, actually. I'm not sure if Twin Burst was in Dueling Nexus, or not Dueling Nexus, Dual Generator. It's hard to keep track of everything.
Dude, I know the amount of cards we have. Yaha! But, I think for me, like, I really wish, motherfucker. That is a card people buy today.
I can see why.
Well, I'm gonna say the controversial thing here. I think it's fine.
I think
there
that
are lots of decks that can spam out an entire board, and honestly, it's like let's be real. There are some decks that need to be slowed down.
I think that an archetype specific maxi would work really great for a lot of rogue decks, but I can see why just having the bug in its current format is definitely a problem.
Even if the archetype specific maxi was just like one extra draw or just something, that would be a weird weird balance, but I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh's always been pretty explosive with turn interaction, like with what players can do and can't do. And well, really, we'll go to the next game. But what's it called? But people are like, oh, I hate cards that create non-games with floodgates. Then they'll talk about how it didn't exist back in the day. No, it did. It did. There were a lot of cards that created non-games, had floodgate effects in the ye and old days of the older formats. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh! These days is so crazy that I didn't need them. So how do I switch that out?
I think we have to like X out of the duel and then it lets you change the deck.